Today we're heading out to do some long exposure seascape photography with the Canon M50. And I'm pairing the Canon M50 up with the new K&F Concept Professional Filter System. It's a professional square filter system. Now, if you've never seen square filters before, you're probably going to be wondering what the heck this is. And in landscape photography and this sort of long exposure seascape photography, the filters that are often used are square filters just like this. And they are just sort of bare pieces of glass that go in a holder in the front of the camera. They have nothing surrounding them, and they're just a simple flat piece of glass. The high-end pieces of glass like this can be very expensive. In fact, the one that I'm holding in my hand right now is about a $200 piece of glass. Now, K&F Concept has done something very clever with their system. They have, come out with something that is very budget-friendly compared to some of the other models that I have tested. And I think the quality of the glass in the system is just as good as anything I've tested. The other thing they've done is they have put a surround around the outside of the filters themselves to give them some protection. So that way, when you are handling them, you don't have to get your fingerprints all over the square filters. You have just these little tabs to bring them in and out, and you're not actually touching the filter. Also, if you drop it, you are less likely to break the filter because it has a bit of protection. So that is a very clever system. The other thing that they've got with this is this just goes and clips on the front of your camera, the front of your lens. They also have put in a built-in polarizing filter that is removable, so you can take this out or put it back in. It just clicks down, and then it has a control for the polarizing on the side here. And all that does is it acts like polarized sunglasses to take the glare off the water or the glare off any object or things that are reflective. Sometimes you'll want to use that, sometimes you won't. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to. You can just take it out and put it back in the kit. And to attach the filter holder on the front of your camera, they have a series of step-up rings that you can use going from 67 all the way up to 82. There's 4 different sizes here, and you just pick the right size for what lens you have, and you screw it on. If with this kit, if you actually have a lens that has a filter thread that is smaller than 67, you either have to buy the filter step-up ring separately to the right size, or use a series of step-up rings like I used today, like this. Don't worry too much about this. We'll talk about it more in the video, and I will link everything in the description down below. The other thing you should know is I know a lot of people aren't going to be ready to be using or paying for a professional level kit, even though this is a very, very affordable kit by professional standards. So at the end of the video, I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk to you about an option which is around about $30, which will get you a result very, very similar to what we're seeing today. You won't have quite the flexibility that you will with a system like this, but it will get you those long exposure seascape photos, and you really will struggle to tell the difference between what we did today. Now, this isn't my preferred composition, but it is really the only position I could find where I could film this, get some shots, kind of show you how this works, and also not have the sort of waves crashing into me and all my gear as I'm filming. All right, why don't we actually do a test shot first? So I'll show you what it looks like with no filter in at all, and then we'll add the filters in. Now I'm going to put in the ND1000, and this is going to allow us to slow our shutter speed right down. And now that I've put this in, my settings currently are ISO 100, f11, and with the shot with no filter in, we were at 1/320th of a second shutter speed. Now all I'm going to do is I'm going to decrease that shutter speed, make it slower and slower until it looks like we are exposed properly. And 3.2 seconds looks like it's just right. So we'll take this shot. Yeah, that looks pretty good, pretty milky. Now I'll wait till we get a good wave coming up, because that's gonna really help us get that. I'll do that. So as the wave's coming up, that creates that white, milky, ethereal effect that we're looking for. That looks pretty cool. While we're here, I'm just gonna adjust the composition a little bit, see if I can get something a little bit better. Wasn't loving that composition, but as I said, I'm really just trying to position myself so I can film and show you how this works. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. I do like that a little bit better. We have some shadows coming here, so we got to watch that. But yeah, I like that. I get a couple like that. Now that's just with the ND1000, and I actually think that's the right ND filter for this situation. It's the darkest ND filter that I've got. Now with me I've also got an ND8 and an ND64. Essentially what those different ratings mean, ND8, ND64, ND1000. The bigger the number, the more light it blocks and the less light that gets to the lens. That allows you to have a longer shutter speed and allows you to blur the motion of the waves more. In this situation, shooting at ND1000, I like what I've got. So going down to those lower ones, I think is probably going to give me a less preferred image, but I'm going to go through those just so we can test it and have a look, because a lot of times you just don't know until you try. All right, now we've got the ND64 in, and I can see that my previous shutter speed is way too fast or way too long. It means that the image is completely overexposed and blown out. And I'll just take a picture for you so you can actually see what that looks like now that we've changed. And I'm not even sure if the camera will focus. So this is the same shutter speed as we did with the ND1000. What you'll see, that's completely blown out. That's completely unusable. So what we got to do is we've got to decrease the shutter speed until we get a properly exposed image again. All right, it looks like 1/4 of a second. So we'll give that a shot. Yeah, and what you'll see, that is just, that's not really blurring the water nearly enough at all. So you really aren't getting the effect you're going for. This would be better in lower light conditions, but since we're in full sun, this really isn't blocking enough of the light. Now with our ND1000 in, we're going to try this with and without the polarizing filter. And the polarizing filter just pops into the system. It's a circular polarizer. And what that allows us to do is cut that glare off the water. All right, now we've clicked that in. I'm gonna go back to the shutter speed that I know is working. Now we are going to show you how to actually adjust that filter. There's a little knob on this side that I just turn, and I just watch for the glare to be cut from the water. And there it's taken away. All right, we'll try a shot like this. Now in this situation, I don't think the polarizer is doing a whole lot for us because the sun is actually coming from behind us, bouncing off the water and going that way. So we're not getting a significant amount of glare. If we had the sun coming this way, bouncing off the water and into the lens, then that ND filter is going to play a much bigger role. But just playing with it, I'm not seeing a massive difference between using the polarizer and not using the polarizer. Now we're going to add in the last filter that I've got with me today, and this is a graduated ND filter. And one of the things about this filter system is it allows you to stack the filters. So I've got my first square ND filter, and then I can stack a second filter on top of that. That can actually be another ND filter if I want to cut the light down further. But in this case, I'm going to be using a graduated ND filter. And a graduated ND filter actually has a more reduced sunlight or light through the top and then less through the bottom. So it's sort of like a graduated sunglasses, and so it's darker, 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 lighter down to the bottom. And when we use this is when we have a bright sky like this and we want to sort of reduce the amount of sunshine coming from the bright sky, we slide this down into place to cut the light from the sky, but then not cut the light from the ground. Now in this situation, because the waves have these white froth and there's lots of sort of light reflecting off the white froth in the waves, I'm not actually sure that this is going to be a benefit, because I think the waves here are exposed at a similar level to what the sky is. But we're just going to try it and see what it looks like. Now I actually think that actually does help a little bit. I didn't think it would, but I've got a much deeper blue in the sky because I'm reducing the exposure on the sky. So we'll take a couple shots like this. Yeah, I actually think that this is improving the image. Now with this filter system that I'm using today, there's basically 3 different kits you can get. You can get the base level kit, which just comes with the filter mount system. It comes with an ND1000, which is the one that we determined was the best one to use today. And it comes with the circular polarizer, which I don't think is making a big difference today. The second kit you can get is one that comes with those same things, the ND1000 and the circular polarizer, but then you can also get it also comes with the ND64 and the ND8, which are not as strong at knocking down the light, which means that you aren't going to get as long a shutter speed. I think the ND1000 is probably sort of the perfect all-purpose one. And if you're going to be shooting in the middle of the day like I am, or in sort of bright sunlight conditions, the ND1000 is the one that you're going to use anyways. The third kit is one that comes with the ND1000, the circular polarizer like the other two kits, and then comes with this graduated ND filter. And I think for most people, just starting out, you can absolutely get away with the base model kit. But I think if you were going to go up one level and spend a little bit extra, I would get the graduated ND filter, because I think in a lot of conditions this is going to make a big difference, particularly if you've got a really bright sky and you've got any sort of shadows in the foreground. This is going to allow you to expose that properly by sort of blocking some of that light from the sky so it's not blown out. You get good detail in your clouds, but you're still going to get some good detail in your foreground and any shadows that are on the ground in front of you. All right, we're back. It might not have looked like it, but those are pretty challenging conditions out there, because that sea spray was hitting those piers and there was just this really fine mist covering everything. My glasses, the camera gear, the tripods. So I came back and I spent about 45 minutes just wiping everything down, trying to get every bit of sea spray off of everything. But I'm glad I got out there. It was a beautiful day, and we got to sort of show you how this filter system worked. As I said, there's 3 different level filter systems. There are 3 different price points. I will link all that below. As I said, check that out. I think if you want to get serious about this type of photography, I would strongly recommend this kit. And for the money, it is definitely the best kit I've ever tested. But if you're not ready to make that level of investment yet, K&F Concept actually make an ND1000 filter in a 49mm filter thread, which will fit on the front of your Canon M50, and that costs about $30. And when you use that, you will struggle to tell the difference between that and what we shot with today, primarily because the quality of the glass in that filter is the same as this. You won't get the level of flexibility where you can use these on sort of any lens that you have. You won't be able to stack filters like this. You won't be able to use a graduated filter like this. So there are a number of disadvantages, the advantages that this kit has over a simple setup like that. But if you just want to get out and you got a local stream or a local beach or a local waterway where you just want to blur that water and just experiment with this type of photography, man, there is no cheaper way to do it than just buy this little filter. All right, I will link all of that below. And if you're interested in landscape and seascape and long exposure photography, be sure to subscribe to the channel and don't forget to hit that bell notification, because I got a bunch more videos like this coming up.